Hi guys, I'm here with Kent Levine of Highline Warren, and we're going to talk about automotive filtration. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
So I see you've got some cabin filters. I see you got some oil filters. Filters keep dirt away from where it's not supposed to be. So tell me what you brought.
Absolutely. Well, let's start talking about keeping dirt away from the passengers.
Yeah.
And that's your cabin air filter. You've got exhaust, you've got pollen, you've got smog in some cities. So let's keep that out of the passenger compartment by changing your cabin air. Your technician will show you the cabin air filter at times, and they'll be really dirty. It's a good idea to have that changed out when they recommend it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Keeping all that dirt away from breathing it. That's
Absolutely.
Good. Now, what about keeping dirt out of the engine?
Absolutely. Well, we all know, and your technician knows, that the biggest enemy of the engine is the dirt that's floating around the engine, and that has to be taken out. So here we have an air filter, and the air has to be filtered because clean air needs to be drawn into the engine for the combustion process to begin. And this is a pretty big air filter here for a diesel truck. And then we also have the oil filters, which is very important. And the one thing I stress is you need flow in the engine, and as the oil flows around the engine, the most important thing is that we keep that oil flowing clean to extend the life of your engine.
Okay. Now, when you go to change an oil filter, is there something specific that someone should look for? Is there like different materials inside that would benefit a different engine?
Yes, absolutely. And some shops have different types of filters. There's usually a standard, which usually matches OE. And there's also a premium. Today, the OE has increased the oil change intervals, sometimes 10,000 miles, sometimes 15,000 miles. And what we have here is different types of filters. They come in different shapes, they come in different sizes. This happens to be a cartridge filter. The cartridge filter will go into a housing that's already on the vehicle with a housing cap and spin on with an O-ring. The cartridge filters will come with the O-ring or any kind of grommet or any kind of accessory that it needs. Then you have the more well-known spin-on filter that gets spun onto a stud, into the filter, and into the stud, and it filters out the particles that damage the engine.
Excellent. Now, are they all the same? Are there synthetic or non-synthetic types of material inside them that maybe have different characteristics?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, here we have a Parts Master filter that's a standard, and a standard has standard media that will match the OE interval and filter out the particles. And what happens is the aftermarket adheres to a standard. The USCAR talks about the 95% filtration efficiency at the 30 micron level. And that's what the media is at a minimum supposed to do.
Okay.
We do testing in our laboratories, in our facilities that manufacture the filters, and we go above that standard. You also have a synthetic blend media, which is in the Parts Master synthetic filter that will last longer. This is a filter that will go longer than the intervals of the OE recommendation. There's also another media out there, synthetic media, which is a little bit less efficient, but it has a wire mesh back, and some filters do have that, as we see here in this cartridge, and it's just geared to be a little more stronger and to go a longer life and capture more dirt.
Okay. Now, is it brand specific when it comes to filters? Does a Mercedes always need a Mercedes filter, or is the aftermarket advanced enough to keep up with standards?
Well, the aftermarket, what they do is they do significant testing to make sure they meet or exceed the standards of the OE. So while I'm not going to say one's better than the other, all the manufacturers that we work with, especially with the Parts Master, does extensive testing to make sure that they are above the OE standard, the minimum spec.
That's great. That's really fantastic. So no matter where you go to get your oil change, if you're using quality parts, it's going to last a long time.
Absolutely. You should trust your local technician, and I'm sure they're using a quality part that you can rely on to make your engine last longer.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you coming out. I've
Thanks,
learned a lot. Guys, I hope you learned as much as I did. Thank you for watching.